favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Have a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve the previous meeting minutes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do we have anyone specifically for public address? No? Treasurer's report, November financials.
Was everybody able to receive the last one that she sent us with the updates with the credit card charges? I think we approved close to 11 grand at our last meeting. It was a pretty hefty meeting. So some of that is on there.
State stuff that they're spending on right now.
Yeah, and then there's equipment on there. I waited for this $50,000 grant that we were approved for the occupancy and lodging tax. We actually are going to receive that for our winter classics. So as soon as that was approved, then I went move forward and purchase it for Jamboree because I didn't know what we have for our budget as far as the Jamboree. So that will all be covered under this $50,000 grant. So see needs to be official to state them because that was really, really nice and vital to our tournaments. That's all I had.
I can't say it again. I read the first one and nothing helped out there the other day. I think we just watched the Fighter Center.
Yeah, Michelle, actually.
Yeah.
And that was my only question.
I was on the phone with Sarah while texting Sam while getting pictures, trying to figure it out. What it boiled down to is when they rolled it over to Rock Fighter Center from us is our September bill. No, we did. Our September bill got automatically drawn on November 4th. So it's like a net 30 for the bills. And then when they took over October, they net 30 then November 21st, 24th. So we paid for September and November, we paid for October and November. And so like the November bill she just received is not due until December 26th. So that's maybe a question or something like that we talked to Denise about is putting the actual usage the right month, not the pay by date. So we don't have this issue.
That's what it's accounted for in October, is that we charge.
Correct. It should be. I have it back in October, but that's all.
That's how it was when we looked at the financials, because that's when I said, no, we weren't billed, so that's what she sent that.
So she should be putting the usage fee and not the pay by date. That way we have it on every month, the actual month. And we're not billed.
assume that the price would just be the same, right? I mean, if we're asking for a shorter month and then she's saying, telling us the price is gonna be the same, well, should it matter if we go an extra month either then?
Right, and I'm thinking what we're looking for is a 12-month cycle, heavier in the winter, lighter in the summer. It's, type of things. So we'll have to just reconvene on that.
Part of what we missed before was the marketing side of it, which probably needs to be addressed as well.
And they're on our website, Sam did post on Facebook, so we should be covered there now. She let, it's Candy. Know that it's not gonna be consistent because we are not certain employees. We're saying it's a chance once a month, whatever. It's
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Total donations.
So I added this is more a question for Brian. Did we get all the checks that we had that were supposed to cover it?
I'd have to follow up with Dave.
I've got some.
We have,
That's why I added it. Yeah, I know I seen Keith's go through, pretty sure Jamie's getting one. That's all I know for sure.
Thanks for reminding
This is nitrous and that here. Okay.
So I don't know who all he had, but I just want to verify that. I received years whatever he
Coaches pay.
had. So gave everyone John Deere's buying a computer. This is what we kind of discussed last year for the future years. I did editing to the one I emailed out to show who's coaching where. Obviously, the lead in a couple of teams and those price points, so you can see the total less the red teams. And we can have a discussion if we want to raise, lower, add. Like I know you mentioned Corey's situation, so I didn't have a coordinator on that right now. But we're trying to basically, I think, the goal is to kind of standardize this so we have an ongoing budget every year instead of continuously changing values every year, up, down, left, right, and essentially what this methodology is: the head coach gets X dollars, and then he gets to decide how he wants to disperse the, we're going to say, coach pay. So if he has one assistant, or two, or four, it doesn't matter. You get an X set amount of dollar value to disperse between your multitude of assistants that you have or don't have. That's kind of what we discussed last year.
Right, that's exactly right. My only question is when it comes to coach pay, say they only have one assistant, now your assistant coach is gonna be paid more than your head coach. So
True.
is it in that theory that they could go ahead and,
They can, in the theory is they can divide it out however they want.
okay,
Right? There's a statement, head coach decides how money, that money is divided out. So if they want to do a 50-50 split, or if he wants to take that 2,500 and give himself 1,000 more and the assistant 1,500 of that, that's up to them. So you're actually not cutting the check, you're cutting the entirety of the check to the head coach. They get at their minimum the head coach pay and then disperse the rest of the financials out to the rest of the coaches. Whether that's themselves, one assistant, or the two assistants, however they want to divide it. I know it's kind of the theory. I don't know how great that'll go because I don't want to keep it. That's an issue that we created from this potentially. It was thought out a little bit. I'm not saying there's not room for improvement, but I know you'd asked about probably cutting half of this stuff here next month. So we can maybe go back, have some ideas on this next verbiage and reconvene January and then solidify it. So between now and January, we'll be able to solidify it, approve it in January, and then make some good checks in January and March.
I know the coaches like to get it before Christmas, but at the same time, there's so many elements at play that by the end of the year, things have completely changed, so it's kind of nice to have that overall
I think
insight.
for 2 years now, we've paid at the end of the year, in a row,
So
so.
maybe that's the expectation, so maybe I don't want to change that.
pay based on age of players.
Theoretically, right, the registration is less, in theory, as you know, the more games and practices you have as well, so it's based on stair stepping and,
And we do pay for non-parent coaches, correct? All of their gas, their hotels.
non-parent coaches and hotels, mileage, which is on the website, and $25 a day.
There's
I haven't seen a single reimbursement account for it yet, for any coaching staff, but I'm telling you, off the mileage, they really make it cheaper.
Yeah. Well, sure. Got more than home.
Well, you only get the furthest distance there and back.
Right.
If you're going to Minot, Devil's Lake, and then
You just get to Devil's
you just get to Devil's Lake and back on whatever the mileage on the website is.
I guess my only question is 10 girls is 750, square feet one is 1,000, square feet is 750.
So,
And then you use.
I must have missed changing that dollar value. There's supposed to be the sport coordinator / sport one head coach.
Got it.
He's done in the past, and since Corey's not doing that, I just put Keith in there. He's sport one, I just didn't change the dollar value.
Gotcha.
So that's why I say maybe we just put our thinking caps on and discuss it between now and January. And I can make any adjustments to it, bring it to January, and finalize it. And then maybe we pay them, maybe we still wait till March this year, and then once we have kind of solidified moving forward, we can start doing half and half in 26, 27. Might be the route we have to go. At least we got a baseline.
Yeah, and that's something to work a budget off of.
Yeah. If you guys see dollar values any more or less, whatever, let me know. We can make adjustments.
Yeah, we did apply for the JDA, we went to the JDA and that's for $160,000. And that was kind of to support these jobs and our coaches and all the staff that we're paying. So we went to them, we presented, it was positive feedback all around. It was just, they were sure that they could allocate their funding in that direction. So they're coming up with a different avenue of trying to help support us. What a lot of the other clubs do around the state is they're supported by their painting. Well, we don't have a ton of that. Bismarck has their own bar, all that kind of stuff. So we pay a lot of people in the community, and that money stays within the community, whether it's repping, coaching, all of that. So I think overall they are very impressed. It was just not something, and we didn't need to rely on that money either. It was just something that we were going to try and go for to help kind of stabilize ourselves.
I talked to Aaron to summarize it, what their goal is, because it's against their bylaws to do that, plus they have potential Pandora's box to other entities of sports, is the Rough Rider Fund that's capped at like $3,000 right now. They're gonna do a separate Rough Rider Fund that's completely different from that one. What those funds would be, I don't know. They don't know the dollar value or what that would be, but they're saying somewhere between 10 and 15 per event. So we apply for all of our events through that fund, which is essentially running back through the JV county, and get 50 to 75K that way, starting next year. So we'll have that works.
I think the calculated we pay out about $170,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, somewhere between that. Something I can't remember.
That's including reps, coaches, everything like that. So,
But, I mean, and that's consistent, because our ask for the JDA was about that ask. They're trying to make this finance year to year. Yeah.
Alright, we don't have, Jennifer's not here, nothing on the safe sport team updates.
Well, like, actually, like, because it does do safe sport, the homeless and lockout monitors and stuff like that, so we'll probably need to.
Well, I know that, did y'all see that second email that I had sent last night, where she had touched on that?
Yeah, so is that something that needs to come from Jennifer to state, though, that's what my question was gonna be.
I can forward it to her and have her send it out.
Yeah, we'll see what her thoughts are on it anyway.
Anything for team updates?
big thing that we are getting going in terms of hockey committee stuff is trying to get more of an in-house 8U, 6U league going this week. Kind of piggybacking off of what was 3-on-3 game night, trying to get it a little more formalized. Also using that as an opportunity for Aaron Pelton to develop some referees. We had our, I guess I call it more of a committee, but I'll go over that. We had our first hockey development committee meeting this past month. We went over practice planning and things like that. Thought it went pretty well. The topic of this next development meeting in December is going to be kind of a roles and responsibilities think tank. I think that there's a lot of information held in a lot of different pockets, trying to find out what coaches view their responsibilities as versus the team managers versus the locker room monitors, and trying to get all that kind of standardized across the levels so we're not having so many blind spots that keep coming up. Huddle rollout is ongoing. I know that one of the biggest pains with it has been our jersey scripting. The number 6 and the number 8 is all tagging the same because the 6 is almost completely closed on the jersey. Yeah, so trying to figure out how we can best combat that. 4 teams have their rosters in, was waiting on some input from the other 2. I know Spencer and Dave gave me a go ahead on theirs to get that going, so we'll try to get that done tomorrow. That just leaves 19 girls. Tyrell and Sean have had in-depth walkthroughs. Got to get with the other coaches to get things going to get that done. Tim was supposed to be yesterday. He had some stuff come up, so that's kind of the next big one is getting the bantam's going. As far as ice hockey systems go, we've got 22 of our 26 association accounts assigned. My priority over the next month there is to begin to digitalize my personal archive and get it shared with the club. We've got a bunch of binders dabbled over there with a bunch of practice plans for the years. I think getting all that stuff uploaded would be good.
Have the coaches been utilizing that?
I know Aaron uses it frequently. I know Keith uses it frequently. Sean Breland I've seen with copies of it. Aaron I know because he sends me the link, and Keith's been very good at posting his practice plans, the organizational account. So I think as we're going through the roles and responsibilities, asking the coaches to start posting their plans with an age group tag so that the archive starts to build out is going to be good. But I have seen it start to really pop up around the association.
I need to touch on how to do exactly the farm around village. I'm a little scared at first, but it's actually super simple. It's really, really cool. So if the government start utilizing it to its fullest, I think it's really going to happen.
Yeah, I think we just really need to push that on all the coaches who are using it.
On the huddle topic, what are thoughts on during the next development committee, doing kind of a show and tell on it? Majority of the people in the meeting are going to be people that have the option to utilize it, or schedule a separate meeting for some sort of
I was hoping to have those touches one-on-one so that we could take as long as needed. That's kind of why I've been trying to save on that if I can. We can certainly go over it in that form, but there will be a number of coaches that it is not applicable to, and our itineraries will be getting heavier by the end of it feels like.
Yeah, I agree with you. There don't be some trying to facilitate something with just those coaches. One-on-ones are great, but if you can get those all.
Yep.
I'm just going to
Obviously, our current programming is regular season. Some of the future stuff is still in development. Business stuff, there's not been a ton of changes other than getting some assistance over to the governance committee with some help on the bylaws. That's kind of everything that's going on. All the completed stuff again is in red over the past month. AU evals was kind of the big one, and then huddle implementation and IHS implementation rollout. seems to be going all right. All of our rosters are submitted. The only big thing with any changes that we potentially have going on is the roster deadline of December 15th.
I did get down to send Lori the sheet codes for it today. She was missing those. Oh, were you able to get with Mario? Got that?
Yes. Mario is the one camp that's real good. We're talking about a second follow-up.
Do you have any solidified outside prohibitions dates that Sam will be putting on the website yet? So we can lock those in, get it on the calendar, maybe get them.
As I get them solidified, I was planning on just uploading them and getting a little more familiar. So I'm be able to take some burden off. So
Just know, did you find the prohibition dates?
I've got a whole file on it, trying to get a spreadsheet going. So
Okay,
it's
sounds
spaced out.
That is,
It's definitely in progress.
okay.
Yep.
Perfect. I don't have any more business.
Anything else, Brian?
I think that's about it from my perspective.
Hockey committee updates.
So, sent out the hockey committee recommendations from the meeting that we had last night. Did you get a chance to review those? Or you want me to just read those off?
I did put them on the Google Doc to everyone's on
I can just read them off. Yeah. You want to read them off? Okay, so first topic, Pee-wee and squirt early movement. The committee is split on this issue. The majority feels Archer should stay at this Group 1 level. The minority feels he should be moved to the Pee-wee team. Should be noted, Ryan abstained from the vote on this topic. Reasons for Archer staying at the Squirt B1 level. Laying up soft goals during gameplay at the Squirt B1 level. Like to say that we don't think that translates well over the 2 levels. Meaningful development can still be had at the Squirt B1. He's not stealing games at the Squirt B1. We're shutting teams out. He said he's still laying up some soft goals. So there is parity between Archer and Blaine.
I can't hear you.
I said there's parity between those two. Archer, will all he getting better, it's not exponential.
So my question to you is right at the first statement, how are you saying it's a split issue, but the majority versus the minority, is that going to skew the perspective when it is like a 50-50 split, or was it?
No, so what I understand, there's one member that would like to move up there to. And just, you felt there was no real clear answer. So another one of the reasons why they think he should stay at that level, potential size of the roster. Reasons for moving Archer out to PBA, the skating ability and footwork, definitely good. He's competing with driver up there, pluses. And he has the possibility of giving a competitive advantage to that team. been-
not
he's been
perfect, but he
there.
puts in the work, yeah.
He is.
Yeah,
I
definitely
agree with
does.
that 100%.
So my question is, why are we questioning the goal we have at PD? Because I'll be honest, I watched the game and I didn't see where you could win. Like I watched that championship game from the Winter Classic and I didn't see how you win the goalie. Like, I broke that down and
And
I can pick out who was at fault for 7 of the 8 goals, and I'll tell you what the goalie.
and
I don't think though that that's,
But we're not
I think,
reevaluating players for making mistakes. Why are we reevaluating the goaltender? And it's not what we want to
I
teach
don't
the
think that
kids.
was their original direction. I think what they were coming at by petitioning him up is they felt they had missed an opportunity with Arthur to play at a higher level.
But that's not how this started. This
Yeah.
started because someone asked.
No,
For us.
Yeah, for them, yes. But we started this after the Winter Classic because of an email that said it was
Because
basically
the
playing
head
the
coach,
goalie.
but was it the head coach who made a request, correct?
And the coordinator. But
Right.
what I'm saying is I want to see the evidence that is saying it's the goalie's fault.
Okay, so I guess we have the head coach.
Okay.
to be clear, this is about Archer and his development. You can
Yeah.
get to Brody's session, and this is nothing to do with that. This is an unfair evaluation chance that we have, which I watched, Brian, which you didn't evaluate. And I specifically asked if he was going to try out for Pee-wees that it not be on the same night as the sports, which we were denied. He did a full session of sports, then he had to go out and skate an hour with Pee-wees.
So we did go to tryouts for
It was
Yeah,
a last
it's-
minute call up and he said, so we can say we took a look at it because multiple parents were like, we're gonna go tell them to look at Archer. And we're like, okay, like he said, you'd have an opportunity to me on the phone when I reached out beforehand. He said, when I called, he said, I asked, like, do we need to move Archer up? Is there opportunity available? And he said, I think you're in a good position to let the tryouts take place. And it was the last night of sports tryouts and this at 6 o'clock, right when they ended. I got a phone call and he said, can Archer say so we can say we took a look at it? And I thought, are they saying they took a look at it or are they taking a look at it? It kind of felt to me, you know, like minds were made up originally and it just, and then, I mean, the proof was when the evaluation results came out in Monday.
It was clear to me by that comment that there was no intention of it whatsoever, and that you were saying that to please people that had concerns.
And I'll be,
I'm gonna take offense to that comment.
that's okay.
He
I'll
was
be
given
honest.
No, I'd like to speak for myself. The accusation's coming at me, I'd like to speak for
But
myself.
I'm the board member. So, I believe Archer is capable of playing PWA, absolutely. But we also told another goaltender that he was good enough to play PWA, and now we want to bring in another one. For what reason, I want to know. What are we teaching kids if we blame the goalie? That championship game, goal number 1, number 18's fault. Goal number 2,
We're not gonna put blame on the team,
we're putting the blame on the goalie.
So I actually have a question though, so I'm looking at the roster before this even gets out of control. State rules, so PWA has 14 teams, or 14 members, 13 for B1. Is the state gonna look at this, because there's no reason to be moving kids around right now?
Well, my concern with this whole situation is not even about the goalies, it's about the size of this rugby team. We have a couple other issues, that's not just about rush. Couple not traveling, one moving, another one potentially asking to move. If all this takes place, the B1 team will be traveling out of town with 7 skaters.
So maybe that should be the question, is why don't people want to play for the sport B1 program?
I don't think that's anything to do with this.
One doesn't have to do with the other.
Yeah.
This is about this issue, about moving him, and that would be my personal concern about this whole scenario. It's not about development.
I worry,
Archer or Zach, anything. It's that, because where do you go from there? How do we gotta go reevaluate sport B players and see which ones can come up? Because you can't double roster. anybody.
Right.
Do they have capable kids to move up? I don't know. I mean, you have to ask Chris and Keith to evaluate for the next however long, well then rosters are due by the 15th.
So I'm worried that you're gonna teach these kids that you can blame the goalie. And what happens when it's our turn? Do we want the club to think that we can blame the goalie for losing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Like,
not saying that.
and
I mean,
the hockey
nobody's kids are
people,
perfect. Nobody's.
No.
Everybody makes mistakes every single game. This is a learning experience. That's how they learn. That's how they grow.
I think for us, for me personally as a board member, this comes down to whether or not we feel like we messed up and didn't give our kid the opportunity that he deserved to play up at the KBA level. It wouldn't be moving your child down, it wouldn't be taking away that position, it would be whether or not there was clear communication with you guys. He got a clear shot as to trying out, and then we followed the process clearly, you know, so that's.
So my question back, I guess would actually be redirected to them both of you. If you move the PBA, and Zach stays there, then just in a scenario, you're saying that either Zach's gonna play 50-50 or, you know what I mean, and then you're back in the same scenario.
It would be the same.
I can ask
Would that be
you
the-
for Aaron.
would that be
I'm
the
speaking for
scenario?
Aaron.
Yeah.
Just laying the scenario out there.
This whole conversation started after an email. I don't know if I should be reading it, so I apologize. But
I'm not saying.
Monday, November 17th,
I'm just saying.
and it was mainly due to whatever happened in it. Okay, so
Brody, adjustments have to be made. Evaluations, that's why we have a sport coordinator. That's why we have a hockey director. That's why we have a head coach. These people are allowed to assess their teams and decide whether or not they feel something needs to be relooked. We're allowing them that ability. It's not set in stone. So this isn't a persecution against the person that sent that to be like, hey, I don't know if this is gonna work here for the benefit of everyone.
And that's why they give you till December 15th to
So I just think you're like skewing it a little bit as far
I
as
think
like
we're
what the
turning
intent.
the reason to not giving Archer a full thing from the fact that we had an email that said.
There's nothing wrong with, I'm not gonna evaluate go into who's like very tic-tac there, but there's 13 skaters, so I have to move those kids around. When mistakes are made, I have to make adjustments. When I have one goalie, I have no adjustment, I have no movement, I have nothing. And if whenever you have two goalies, you bring up the compete level. They're forced to compete for the time. When you have that, you're gonna get better. Your goalie performance is gonna be better. This has nothing. I'm not singling out any kid. I'm not about to name a name. I'm simply saying I'm able to bring the compete level at a position that is rather important.
I could agree with that with the fan base, you know, like having the two goalies is 3 goalies now this year, you know, it's great to have at that level of hockey.
That was the intent of the email, was to suggest that we need to bring the level of compete up. Am I saying I'm not saying no game is won or lost by any one kid. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm asking for us to be able to, for me, to be able to raise the compete level at a position.
And what's that saying to the kid that's playing that position after we told him he was?
It's the same thing, bro. I mean, it's no difference in first and second line kids competing for the first and second line, is it?
Well, I think the team. Some did.
And you
You're
have
telling
to.
the kid he's good enough, and now you're telling him he's
You're
not.
not telling him that he's not good enough. It's not
That's
like they're
not what I'm
removed. That's
saying.
not what's happening.
So that's gonna bring you back in. decisions for you. If this happens, it's your choice. But it does lay out an example of where you're essentially falling back into the same.
My intent is to raise the people. That's my intent. And if I can do that at that position, the team as a whole is better off.
And I don't disagree with that statement. But specifically related to their 50-50.
Is it 50-50 or is it?
I don't know. I can't speak for
Performance
it.
based is what
I can't
goes.
speak for it.
Oh,
Mine would be performance based.
okay, yeah,
So
okay.
there's that, but
Yeah.
it's still not gonna be 100% like.
No, right,
Not,
no.
You're not. I don't know.
I just think for development too, like taking those shots, like preparing for those shots for his future, like it's a good time for it. And you know, spending 2 days a week skating out now is one day a week in the net, 50% during games. You know, when he's fully committed to being a goalie, I feel like that's a better opportunity for him.
Do you know the big reason why USA Hockey does not recommend specializing goaltenders at that age?
Do we understand?
I
who
understand
specializes
that.
goaltender at that age?
But I mean, there's all these other goaltenders are single goaltenders, and he's always been needed as a goaltender since he was AQ. They said, "Come on, Archer, we need you here, we need you there." He loves it. I mean, he's not, you know, going to be the next, you know, Jake Ottinger. I don't know, you know, he's here to have fun. He loves what he does. He's having fun skating out, you know. But I'm thinking of his potential growth and development, and I guess that's where I see would be better fit for him.
I agree. One thing I would say, I do think will help him long term to do so. Even in that,
Yeah, I agree.
Abilities to handle tasks and things like that.
But that basically stops this year. Like he's never going to be able. If he wants to be the PWA goalie, he cannot skate out of PWA. He can, you know, barely skate out for B1.
Sure.
He's doing good. He's working hard. He's definitely putting in the work.
Agree with that.
So my
He's
question
going with
is,
the flow, which he always
You
has.
have an education 2 years ago, and you should fall back and go through. So you're doing the same work, you know, the same conversation 2 years, moving the panels because this your age group hasn't competed in a low situation. So
Right. And I think at this age, you know, he's having fun. And I think when he gets older, like he knows, we always know, of course there's going to be more goalies. As things get, you know, bantams like this year, junior goal. I mean, he knows, you know, it's just like when there's opportunity for him to, you know, perform more or do more in what he's committed to doing, I think it's a good opportunity for him.
so Brian and Spencer, what's best for the development of both goaltenders?
you're only looking at one problem. There's still a roster size issue at the sort of level.
I think the best developmental path for both goaltenders is to develop a second goalie at the QBA level from the roster that is already there, and to let Archer continue to develop in the environment that he is in. He is not overtly proficient in that environment to the point where it justifies moving to enhance his development.
We hire these guys.
Jamie, could you elaborate more on the roster situation with sort of new one?
We have currently two, which is unfortunate here, two that are not traveling, have not been able to wait due to private issues. One moving away, and then we have another one that's applied to also moving back to be with siblings.
So is that tight hand in hand? We need to figure that situation out because
So right Right, and I don't know what's the evaluation process look like. You know what I mean? Does this have to take longer and then evaluate what two kids have to move up and replacements of certain ones?
Pretty sure you put the two head coaches together.
And maybe that's true, yeah. 5 days.
So it seems like it's just
And
gonna be
then
the
creating
struggle.
another goal, and then creating another goal, yeah.
So 18 is just sitting in stride. They're going to turn it down. Not the same. The top two players have to move it over.
I mean, in all honesty, though, I don't think my question was ever asked or answered. Like, is this something that if it goes through and we allow this, is this even come back? Like, there's no reason to do this with your guys' roster sizes.
We'd have to ask whoever asked Keith that question, yes. But it's one that probably needs to be asked.
I think it does need to be asked.
Because move-ups are typically prototypically done out of necessity, not want.
Yeah.
Due to non-recyclables. Whether it's a 1 year or 2, sports a little different going for third grade because they don't have a non-league or not league mandate. But usually if you're moving anyone up, it's to roster necessity, not want. Or we have the grade play the grade goals.
Is that box we can check?
I mean, I think it's kind of pointless even until we actually are spending money. I don't know. We can hash this out for another hour and it's still not gonna get anywhere. The state comes back and says no anyway.
I know back in mid-am, let's move it, I have no problem going forward on that portion alone. That's how mid-am operated, I mean, North Dakota, we could be a little bit different, it's worth double checking, but I
I honestly have no idea. I feel like there's so many rules that I can't even keep them all straight,
Yeah.
so.
It's worth the
I
effort.
know you can't double roster. Okay, so I'm gonna move to table this for now until we talk to, have Lori talk to Keith. Then we can call, Matt and State or Keith at the state. Keith.
Well, for rosters, he's the USC roster.
And then if we
He's there.
call a special meeting because we literally have 5 days, so. Are we all okay with that? Yeah.
Yep.
In the meantime, do we need to anticipate getting Keith and Chris, working on potential avenues there?
I mean, I think the discussion can be had. It doesn't hurt.
I mean, it can be internal, it doesn't have to be like it's going out to everybody. But then, the hard part is they're not on the ice together. So,
Yeah, Lori can call.
and I think it's yesterday.
Okay, so Lori will call, I'll ask her to call Keith up tomorrow. And we'll just. Okay.
Well, we can do a special meeting, Wednesday or Thursday, or something like that.
Can we bring in, can you guys discuss offline too, the evaluations that maybe get into the coaching staffs? Just at the short level? Because I can tell you right now, based on the conversation I had with Keith today at the office, was I think there's 2 different viewpoints of the coaches.
Well, how's that
Who's up
gonna,
here and who's on.
is that just gonna come down to maybe taking them, I'm not.
I think individual conversations with parents and coaches, they can involve any moving piece that should be had. Whatever comes up, there's gonna be things that.
Did you have anything that you wanted to discuss, or were you just sitting here to just see what was going on?
Well, when I heard that all this was going on, I understand it from all aspects.
Right.
Okay. And if you want me to address the Squirt V1 roster stuff, I see the problems. I also see, but it's hard to do 50-50. My son went to junior gold and they had ended up with 3 on the bench, or 3 goalies. Guess what? There was nothing 50-50. And then it's fought for all the way through. And there's days that it sucks. It just does. But we didn't make my son quit. We didn't stop him. We pushed on and let him do what he wanted to do. And we developed as we go.
Right.
We realized that It's a team effort. Winning and losing, it is a team effort, and it's a learning experience. And I would just say that, I mean, if it was your guys' kids, you know, a couple of you have kids on my team, my son's team. If you were told, well, we evaluated your kid and you, without your knowledge, we've been evaluating them and comparing them with somebody else now, and we've decided you're not good enough anymore. Do you want to be the one to tell your kid that?
And I don't think that was ever the intent.
But that's what it feels like to a parent.
And I
It
asked.
absolutely does.
That would
Because we
speak
had asked
to-
that several times to make sure that there was clear communication before any sort of evaluation happened between you and everyone was
Yes.
all on the same page. Did we not? Did we not say that?
No one ever contacted me that he was being reevaluated. Even
Never.
Zach is in the one who's being evaluated. He just comes to work and just does his thing.
And I believe I asked Brian to speak to her first, but I don't.
I had a conversation with parents gathering the perspective of the athlete's performance, and I gave that to the committee, and that was supposed to be a considering factor on whether or not this Canterbury team got open.
The day after the Winter Classic, you did contact me, but you didn't address this process.
From my perspective, the question of the athlete's mental health and where his head was the biggest thing at stake. I did not have a question about ability at that time. My concern was making sure that he was committed to going through those hardships, and that it wasn't going to be an issue on an individual level. Had there been a need in the athletic level, that would have changed my recommendation. But since I did not identify that need, that is what was communicated internally.
I apologize for the lack of transparency. They discussed problem hearing. What the best process was. We try to do things.
Alright, so once we speak to the state, John will call to the meeting and then we'll let you guys know, you guys can come in and we can.
That's fine.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I have another question in
Yeah.
regards to this. So if you guys change and decide to move Archer up, my kids still pay the dues and I don't want them to sit the bench and not have a shot at 50-50 at least.
That's understandable. I do have one question. What is?
I didn't tell them to do this. Because being a goalie is the most mentally challenging position on the ice. This is my third goalie. Third. I've been in this for a lot of years. And the last thing you want to do is destroy their confidence. We need to build confidence and build their self-esteem. And believe me, they feel every one of those pucks that go in the net. Even when it's not their fault, they feel it. They know it. They know what the scoreboard says. But they can also watch the whole ice and they can tell you who passed the puck in front of the net and let someone shoot right on me. They can tell you that. You know, and those things, it takes time. It takes time for the whole team to develop. It's like a recipe. You need all the ingredients to come together to be right. Sometimes it's going to taste like crap when it doesn't work. Sometimes it'll be magic. And we have small glimpses of it. There's a lot of potential with this team. We just got to give it grace and give it time for them to develop. We're very early in the season.
So do you feel like your son at the junior girl level, that competitive nature of having a goalie, do you think it would benefit Zach that having Archer there to just help push each other? You know, have that camaraderie, have that person to like, hey, you know, like, it's like what you said, at junior goal level, that they push each other and you're gonna get down to it, you know,
I don't
has
know.
that competitive nature to competitive league, which is PBA. I mean, sport isn't a competitive league. It doesn't mean that it doesn't matter, but you're hitting state level at the PB.
But it's gonna be 50-50, right?
Well, that would be, I think, what
I
we
think they're a
said.
little too young to have one goalie play 80 and another goalie play 20. This is
So-
still club hockey.
I mean, that would be on the head coach though. Like, we can't micromanage every tiny little thing that's gonna be decided. You know, we can just say like whether or not we're gonna allow this process and then it's gonna be up to the head coach.
And to me, that's the agree to disagree thing,
too?
Yes, we'll call you into it. But what if there is a kid on the PBA team that actively wants to be a goalie and isn't given that opportunity? And now you're taking it away because you have a squirt kid that wants to move up.
I mean, I guess we're not aware of any situation. The only situation we were aware of was the squirt goalie having not get
Without telling.
Having a player that wants to play goalie and having a player that wants to play goalie and his parents allow him to play goalie is two different things.
Fair. But as
And I
a
think that's gonna
parent,
be the issue that we're gonna run into.
as a parent, I have not been addressed or asked if my kid could play. And I mean, without asking me, I mean, because then I would have known, you would have known, everybody would have known, because the coach would have said, hey guys, we're looking for another goalie. I don't have an option to ask my two children on the team if they want to play or not. And I don't know that that's actually something that they do want to do, but my son does play goalie for lacrosse, so maybe it is. And I think that that's taking away an opportunity from an age-appropriate child and their parents to have those discussions.
And Gertrude Thursday's 5 days off from the cutoff too. So to me, it's also like when you
Guys,
have someone ready to go in
grandpa,
who's
the amount
100%
of
trained
ice
goalie,
to get off that, get the pads off.
seems like that would be
I understand that.
enough.
I understand that question, and I've thought about it. I currently have a goalie that I know is fully capable of benefiting the team to come on and help the team. Whereas if I ask, I don't know how many of you know remember what February's look like, but if I start having to develop skaters as goalies, here's what's going to happen in February. I'm going to have to pick who's going to be the goalie because none of them are going to want to be in there. They're going to want to skating out. And guess what? What's the temperature around here in February? It sucks. I don't want to have that conversation in February. I'd rather have that conversation in December and move on. And that's why I haven't asked the kids, the skaters yet.
Well,
And that is my decision to make.
Oh, absolutely, but being new to the area, I don't think that it's fair to Keegan specifically to not have the option to do so.
That is my decision to make.
I think it's actually the board's decision, isn't it?
Board isn't going to tell me where kids are going to play. Right? Are you guys going to start telling me where I need to start playing the kids?
No.
I meant in regards of he could come up.
Is that an option for you if Archer doesn't move up from a board making that decision? Is that an option for you to
I don't have a lot of options. But
I'm just curious, right? Because I mean, for all of the side, let's say, since we're talking about Keegan, I mean, he wants to be a goalie, Archer doesn't move up, whatever. Is that something that we're going to look into from a coach's perspective?
clearly we'll be evaluating
Okay, we'll call you guys when.
it. But I don't want to be there in February.
Sure.
Because I'm going to be sending them mad bombs somewhere else, not at me.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Something else maybe. Are they still?
Those are from last week's report.
No, I found them. What did you tell me? This is one of 2020.
I just found them around that.
No, they don't expire. Oh, they're from last year?
Plenty of
I just bought this old one.
I don't see the holes.
We're gonna research these. Okay, so. They're $5. You might make them $50, but I don't think I'm making it.
So it's been a situation.
I'm just trying to figure out.
I think
I don't think it's fair to hear that way. Because what is that different development? He's now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, we're probably gonna have to talk to state because these are, they're numbers. But we can.
I mean, I did the best.
Pat said he may have something.
Animes are practicing at 9 o'clock on Thursdays, so.
Taking away the 15-minute exam was an option. Or not even like getting rid of the one exam. Running. It was something you guys had discussed.
On
No?
Or the PE.
With their-
Then we get in like 15 minutes to.
we're talking about like Thursday, and that 15-minute for PBA band today, they practice on Thursday.
No, we're not talking about our, no. Well, maybe it is. I don't know.
Because Thursday, that's game night, so that 15 minutes is an extra. I mean, that's even not even.
Taking that board.
That's taking out boards and then trying to exam as well and get back into shape so that
It's
it's not ready
Tuesday,
across
it's
the
Monday, Tuesday.
So, Monday, Tuesday.
They're not talking about the 15 minutes necessarily right in front of this practice, they're talking about a 15 minute between like LTS, LTP, and then AU.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The only minute we really saw was that they, 15 was only going to take minutes spots, but coach seems to be an option.
I mean, at some point, I think some of these teams are gonna have to start doing mornings.
Absolutely.
I mean, everywhere else does it. I mean, there's,
When I grew up, it was morning skates around the place.
Well,
I would personally rather do mornings than we can get.
I think you need to reevaluate whether or not, this junior goal is where they can drive themselves in.
Well, but junior gold is obviously they practice after school. I mean,
I know, but
The flip side of that coin is they're the only ones that are gonna be able to get here to start practice at that time. Otherwise, we're kicking everything back at least 30 minutes later, and somebody's gonna get off the ice even later than what we are currently.
yeah.
yeah, I'm just thinking in fairness, if it's something that we rotate through next year
Next year, that's their schedule. Hopefully. But there was some changes I see that can be made futuristically, like maybe we think about moving goalies to Sunday evenings. That's, well, the weekend nights, we go down that road, it sucks, because then you're pushing LTS, LTP and lights there, and then you have your show up is minimal, because they all, most of them have siblings and they're trying.
But I thought we also talked about moving them early at the beginning of the season and having their season be
We
completed.
could also make LTS, LTP a spring, late fall and a spring, and leave open most of the bulk of the season with LTS, LTP. Can't do it for EU travel team with LTS, LTP group, don't have anything. You do that. I think there's lessons in that we can think about for next year. I think hot and heavy as it is right now, I don't know that there's a lot of it. Because we also have a squirt. You want a team getting off the ice at 9:15 on Tuesdays. I know there's some not a lot of parents about, but it's one night.
If there's some meaningful compromise that Pat's able to come up with, Virginia will pursue that and not necessarily bring it back just for between the coaches. I don't think there's much.
I don't know where he's gonna go next morning.
I'm interested in
Well, he's got to get on each team, so let's see what he wants to do.
What if we move curling to not at all?
Good call. Everybody's gonna complain about having Wednesdays in church, just like they did when I was trying to get everybody out of here before 6:30 at the beginning of the season, and we had to rearrange the schedule completely and like Wednesday
Well, I
nights.
mean, well, church doesn't even start at 7. Is there a way you can do something like?
There is stuff Wednesday still.
We have to do curling. We can't. That was a joke.
No,
As much
I'm
as I
saying
would love
there's
to
other
have
practices on
curling
Wednesdays.
can't move outdoors.
You know what? Curling can move to never at all for all I care, to be honest. Realistically, what needs to happen.
Like, early should be like later, because it's really all these people coming in drinking anyway, so they should be going at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Well, they were on Sundays, now they're Wednesdays, and Saturday, we're gonna get anyway. We're going down a rabbit hole because if we have full ice, unfortunately it's be that shape. Kinda be nice if it was that shape, because then maybe you can push curling into the off season. I mean, those are things, future discussions, but nothing that Paul is not gonna move.
No.
We do, I will say we do limit our ice availability for the hockey program. Church is one going. Figure skaters adding in practice doesn't help. Figure Republicans get in Monday, so I know the middle. The biggest thing here is junior goal not being the last ones to go, the first ones to go. That was the biggest move we had in preparation for school hockey, which is where they're going to stay for that program. Some of them are going to have to go mornings. There are a couple other finer things. You go like, instead of square
the other sentiment that we talked about during that particular conversation, even if we get kick goalies out right now, I don't think PBA is the next team in line to have a slot advance. I think the 12U girls would be ahead of PBA. Because they're practicing almost as late as us.
Yeah, you get goalies out, you can move PBA from 8:15 to 8.
Looking at the other side of the table, I would slide the A night out to put the 8U kids in a better environment, then move the 12U girls ahead of the boys to put them in a better environment, and that doesn't change what's going on with even if you're putting all in the maturity level, right?
Okay, so looking at the schedule, there's just no way unless PBAs are willing to go in the mornings, right? So there's really nothing, okay. Okay.
Figure that out. They recommend that there's not the best interest to a lower skill team with a higher age level. But the board should also make the generation based on interest.
Okay, so then my question was, your email did come through, and then was that ever discussed earlier this season? I think it was like September 9th when it came through.
The original email was discussed. It sounds like there's been some changes since we touched base the first time around. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, and like when I talked with you and John, I said we would give it a try, but with my work situation changed, now it's just, it's all but unbearable having this sport. My wife is locked into a contract on weekends. She's never available. And the options for sending Jace with someone else on his team, I mean, he's not really, I would say not really friends. I mean, he's trying, but there's still a little bit of awkwardness and stuff, so I don't want to send him, but then that neglects my other two kids, and it puts a big burden on certain parents of the EDV team. And that's where we're at with that. It's just like,
Okay, yeah. 'cause
Jace enjoys, I just want to say this, Jace enjoys being on the B1 team, but at this avenue, it's not so much what's best for his skill development, it's what's going to keep him in hockey, because one of the results that me and the wife have kicked around is if this doesn't happen, I mean, we potentially have to pull it for the year. We don't want to do that, and we're going to try everything we can no matter the decision, but it might be what happens.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we do need to also talk to the state on that, so when we have our special meeting, I think we can double the state and also
It's
call
either 1 or 2 years.
1 year.
Last
It was
year,
2 years.
The email she forwarded was from last year.
Oh, okay, that's where I was confused.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But then I just sent another one explaining more in depth of
Okay.
what happened this last.
The coach is aware.
I was assuming you guys were there from the beginning, but I haven't really talked to them. I thought it was just common knowledge. I mean, I can go talk to Keith too if I need to. I just.
So, I mean, there's, earlier, this last page one, from a travel perspective, because like, she's got 4 kids, I've got 3 different teams. Obviously, it doesn't work for us to be 2 parents, 3 kids, 4 kids, so questions, is it something that maybe you can talk to Keith and Chris about getting Jace there to do away games?
I think it's hard, like, even if I look at Cam's perspective, there's no way Cam would ever go. Like, he's 9.
Yeah, no, that's
turn, so.
the other way, I just
So-
use it.
There's certain things with Jace that, you know, if you guys want to talk offline, I can.
Yeah.
I don't need the whole class watching.
Right.
But there are certain things with Jace, I'm sure everyone knows in this room roughly about Jace. And his mentality or whatever, the way he reacts to people. So that puts me into where, since I'm the only parent that can go, and now I'm on a week instead of I had every weekend off, so that was easy to do. That's where it comes into an issue with us. possibility of having to, like the twins, it's more of a burden on the other team to send them with them. But for Jason's situation, to send him with someone else, back when I agreed to this, I mean, not to call you out, John, but Elena was going to be on the sport one team, and then she backed out. And John was going to be one of them that he knows about Jace, so I could send him to John. And not have to come get your kid.
So we got time to switch that up.
But, so, I mean, that's kind of the issue, and that's why we're asking to move him up, especially since he did try out for Pee-wees, and from what I understand, he was somewhere in the middle of the pack in the Pee-wee tryout. So I don't see the issue with him not being good enough, because he was in the ranks of the Pee-wees. I do understand it leaves Squirt D1 really screwed for roster, but it leaves us really screwed.
I think my main goal is to always keep his program, and you have a unique situation that is not for me to judge. And so if there's a way that we can keep the program, so I would go against the committee's recommendation.
Could you look at ways where he just doesn't travel, play home games? We're not going to a state tournament, right? So we got
Yeah.
only like a couple tournaments.
And, but are you, yeah.
We already have two that are not traveling.
Well, the committee is
All year.
recommending this year.
One person, Archer, maybe James.
So we got there on this side.
I mean, and I guess I should have talked to Keith before, but I just thought it was common knowledge with everyone, because I haven't hidden it from anyone. That, you know, especially after last year, when I feel we had as good of a case, if not even better, with one kid having heart surgery, to where the parents want to be with them. But this,
Last year was a state decision. 2 years ago.
like I said, either way we go, we will try to do what to keep him in, but
To be fair, I don't think it's a skill thing moving from one to the other. I think from a developmental standpoint, it's not my opinion. Again, I do these situations to me. We have a coach in there that maybe one avenue where he just stays in the summer games. Maybe that benefits you, because it's something that you can discuss internally and bringing us back as it's discussed, because then, you know, your wife's here, he stays home, you go with the older ones, we have to travel, and big ask was that they're here practicing, they're not traveling, they're not in front of outside peep sources of people coming in. I don't personally, I don't feel the need to spend money. Now,
So this is
if you
just-
wanna make a dress code because you hate jeans, that's one thing.
I think that ultimately, some of these parent concerns come down to perspective. If you look professional, you dress professional, you get perceived as professional. If you go out in the ice without the tools to be professional, and I know for some, like, they don't have the means, or, heck, I don't even know how to order
So can
stuff
we-
from the store right now.
So I don't know if I'm like sold on the whole like jacket and sweatpants type things, but I agree with Jamie with maybe the jacket and the hat, and I brought up maybe squad locker, we got that 25%.
Yeah, 25.
Or maybe we could talk to Mr. Inc. and he can put a quote together for us and then come back with something.
Games don't like this.
Right, well, my counter was, I don't care on the practice side of things.
Yeah.
Spending for a top and bottom for every single coach that's gonna, we don't even know if these coaches are gonna come back next year or not.
Or if they're gonna wear it every
If
time.
they're gonna wear it even every time, right? They might be coming straight from work, it's not in the locker because they don't have a locker. It's just,
I
would
would
say
say
more
how we're for the school, like when I coached volleyball, is if that's what we wanted, that coach had that slush fund budget, and that's what they would contribute their budget.
and I don't disagree, that they wanna buy their own stuff to pay their slush fund. Instead of buying kids 50 things, you buy 49 and the coach one, you do it. But from a practice level, spending $600 to me doesn't make sense, because you came here to get everywhere, every single practice. You're just here.
And normally
From
when
an on the bench perspective, Jack and coach me sort of matching, makes more sense. If we're
What do
gonna
you get it though for? Maybe if we specifically said, hey, we wanna donate $6,500 so that the coaches have here, maybe someone give you enough to.
That's my perspective.
Can we get with Mr. Inc. and get everyone on something and then,
Absolutely.
Swallow her.
or get
I
with
think we
squad
can get
locker
both from squad locker.
and then use 25, we can have that 25% off discount or whatnot.
I'm one vote, that's just my opinion, I prefer bench coaching during games, Jack and Matt.
I agree with the jacket and hat. I mean, I think in the meantime, if we just wanna send something out to coaches to get like sizes or something, just put one order in.
Like I know the warm up gears that the bands are ordering, the coaches got, right? If sport B has a slush fund built up, which I'm sure they will, they're gonna get more money from this weekend, they can sure enable for the coaches something.
Jackets for the kids too, which is what
And I know the bar coaches are getting stuff too, but I know I've heard coaches say everyone be one, like a nice like uniform, one unity type thing, but I think
You're gonna get kids with the same thing in practice, different color socks.
I guess I'm not talking about practices, I'm talking about games. Practices to me, I'm talking games, not practices. I don't know what you guys are talking about, just whenever.
I think universal.
Okay, they can wear it whenever, but yeah.
Let me see what I can do with squad locker. Yeah, can we table this and we're
And
gonna
then if we do that, do we make it mandatory? Which is everywhere. Because the different guys want to. I mean,
Well,
make
no,
the
they-
rule that says all coaches-
It also depends on the fit, it also depends on the fit, right? If you go CCM or Bauer, one runs big, one runs small.
One means it, and now
Your cover orders, but, yeah, I think you can.
Hockey program. Last item on the hockey, so. The 8U game nights, we talked about getting guests for it. Having them come over here, I guess. Keith was paying for us last year, out of pocket, is what I was told. So what if we could bring that?
That's,
Jamie might have more insight. It doesn't sound like it's very much, but I can't
I think
remember.
he was paying like $20, and it's more of a want than a necessity, to be honest with you, because they don't call penalties, they don't do anything, the coaches can just, as they call them, coaches from the bench. So they're picking up kids to do it, and
shifting.
He does the Mike Jamboree, that's already taken care of.
And I think that's $25, isn't it?
25 to
Yeah, so 20 a game for the house league distributor.
So you're
House league games are what, 15 minutes or 20 minutes?
30. No, per night.
Oh, per night.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Because you're basically getting one full game.
Sam Brody's second.
What?
Brody's second.
Oh, gosh, okay. I was really surprised someone was on top of it in second, usually we're
Not per game, per night. Sorry.
Per night, okay.
I need to word
I was
that.
saying, they play 6 games a
Yes.
night, shit, I want to go grab it.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
But before we move off, just real quick, first aid kits, we've fallen off the map of first aid kits to coaching staff. Is that something that you also can talk to?
Marta was supposed to tell me exactly what they wanted.
Who?
Marta. I know Marta had brought it to my attention.
We just need to get, we need to get coaching aids for like every, I think every, yeah,
Should be
every head coach.
There was like something specific though, that she said that she wanted, or that she thought that we needed, and
Is
she
that something that we can donate from McKinsey Health? Just the first aid
Well, I know that there was, and it's funny we bring this up, and I thought about it because I was in Canada at the hockey superstore, but they have like bench, like that are hockey specific, like it's got like tweezers and stuff for moist fiberglass and like different stuff. I should have just grabbed them.
Well, I think like every coach needs to just have like some sort of first aid kit in their bag when they're traveling, just.
We've gotten off that.
But you know
Some
what?
of those small things are just gonna.
But you know what else we need in front of that, are those ice pack things that you smash. We need a bunch of those, because I don't know how many times we come to concessions and someone's like, so-and-so cut their leg or bell or whatever, someone got hit with a puck, we need an ice pack, we have no ice, we have to go all the way down to the Fire Center.
Can you, well, what if we do this? Can I put that topic to voting on it? Back on, we need to find the right one. Let the head coach know, get us back the budget for it.
Yeah.
And this does not have to happen until next month, like just discuss it, find it, send it to us, we can approve it over off.
Does anyone have a contact with City?
Go use it because they're super expensive.
Well, I was gonna say, get them to donate.
Well,
there's a hockey sponsorships, right?
Yeah, that's what sure Badlands will.
Compare a regular first aid kit to maybe whatever John was talking about, see what the price difference is, because maybe it's better to get. The issue is they expire too, right? So, certain things. So you basically, it's gotta be a thing for us to just put it on that list. Make sure it's coach as a first aid kit, that is not. So, definitely falling off. It's 50 cents. Yeah, I'm not saying we need to spend $100 per section, but find one that's appropriate quickly and get it to us.
John, can you text me or email me whatever you think this on?
So that per population.
Okay.
Captain, can you email those?
Nothing else for the hockey committee?
Huh?
Nothing else for the hockey committee? Fun to do.
Lisa, do you have anything budget and finance? Budget and finance, do you have anything?
No, just those grants. Another one's due December 19th, so I'm gonna put in with that. I've been brainstorming what I
lacrosse size tier 1 or tier 2 lights, so you can
There you go. Okay.
Creative language.
Yep. But if you do have weekends, it's
Great.
listings.
Tournaments?
Somebody didn't know, Minot Junior Gold is non-existent this year, so they backed out, and I got no one to take their spot. So it's back to full. Still missing 2 12U and 3 10U girls teams. I've asked Tyrell to help me try to contact somebody to get those filled. I do have 1 10U team that was playing our 10U team from Regina that is potentially looking to move to the 12U division. Which will put them at 7 and 10U at 8. I might have to look at opening up some more tier 2 AU ones. Dallas was asking me because our draw from Canada this year is minimal. We have Lumsden at tier 1 and so there's 8 teams there, 6 spots available. Tier 2 is full, but that's the only Canadian team I have. I think the downside for them coming last year of all the Reginas and S-Fans is we don't play full ice and it's not tournament style. They run tournament style and freaking way it should be.
Oh, watch your fingers, buddy.
So we didn't get as big of a drop in Canada as I anticipated. So we're currently 16 shy. So if I open up the door with a couple more tier 2
Big down.
Just all drinking my waters and stuff. So it is.
I'll just take Brody's.
Billings is Zula's not. Zula's coming from that.
Well, there's 2 fights this year.
That was Minot.
Minot.
Zula and the bench is clear.
Yeah.
Minot is not. They have no team. And Zula is not for sure. And they didn't win 19, but I have those. They're on the website. You can see exactly the teams we play. I won't get anything scheduled until about the match. Until Jack we can.
Did you move the Venom A game on Saturday to a different time? I'm joking. It's my Christmas party. I'll just miss the games.
What?
Yeah. You can try last one.
Which one?
The Saturday, the 6:30 game.
Oh, yeah. No. That's Primo Tigers Parkland. That's bonus.
I knew it was a long shot. I wasn't even gonna ask. Okay.
Equipment jerseys.
Okay. So I put goalie equipment on there just because it was like discussed, but then there was no definite
Did
like.
you guys see my response to Brian's and your response to the reimbursement form with the receipts?
Oh, with the 10U go, yeah, but I'm talking the 8
Oh,
stuff, the 8
okay.
goalie
Oh, that's
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
So we had that stuff ordered, right? The goalie equipment.
I don't know, I didn't order anything because no one said anything, or like, there was really like no conversation on it, so I didn't wanna go and order anything, but we can definitely get something ordered, we just need to approval on it.
Yeah, what was the you that sent out which stuff?
Yeah,
So
it was,
Preston agreed, that's not.
that's what you, yeah, I figured that's what we were kinda looking for because they did use their station house and everything, so. So are we good, like, what are we thinking, like 2 sizes of each or 3 sizes of
I'd
each?
say 3 sizes of each. just
Okay,
to
so
save
they're
time.
like $300 a set. We need to make sure that we're keeping track of these.
Yes. So,
No, 3, like, so 6 altogether.
there's like an 8U size, or like a 10 and under size and an 8 under size, or something like
Yeah.
that. 9 and 7, however they are ordered. Should be a wee little case of normal.
Yes, this is extremely frustrating because we just bought some not too long.
Well, yeah, we had all this quick change stuff, and I don't even know what happened with, so I just wish we could, like, just kind of keep a handle on it. Like, it stayed in the bags that it comes in, and,
So not even taking them home, right?
yeah.
Preston's been pretty good about starting to get stuff gathered up and moved it to the Jersey room, which is where we plan on creating a permanent solution there.
Okay.
I also got with Brody, he's gonna be getting Preston a key for that room so that he has the access to get in and out. That way it's kind of like, once it's in there, like Preston, hey, you're responsible for this stuff, it needs to come in, come out. sets that's like.
I anticipate it'll be the same for when they do the travel weekends, the Preston will be responsible for running.
Correct.
Sarah's gonna make you manage the only one. I think that's the original.
Okay. And then so can we just get approval on the 3 sets then of the quick change pads? And then we can,
That's $800.
yeah. Well, I can probably pull up your pocket. I probably still have it in the cart. Maybe
Look at that, or that, which is cheap.
I was gonna go for just pure hockey.
Does the club have a beer hockey account?
No.
Because it should, with the board, because you get 10, 20, $50 off as you spend money.
I don't know how I've ever worked in the past, but did we always go through that piece for equipment and stuff?
So it'd be about $1,800 without tax.
Right, so
We should actually press this at one Canada. We got enough people going up there all the time.
Yeah.
I'm quick, we don't think this.
I think we just order and get it done and over it. That would be
quicker, we should have Tyrell for it last week.
Yeah. Is there anyone going to Canada this weekend?
Maybe the next one.
Maybe, yeah.
$300 a set, 6 sets.
So I'm going to approve $2,000, $2,000 for
Maybe make that 22.
like shipping tax, shipping everything.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
And then AU will have to use those sets, not the ice pads. Right?
Yeah, these are strictly for the AU. I think at the sport level, you kind of need to figure.
Well, it'll be AU and then the in-house, whatever, in-house is.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, and it's
instead of using the sets we used to. Right, the plan is to just change from using actual bowling gear to using the quick change.
well, I mean, from my understanding is AU doesn't have to go here, right? I mean,
So usually we had 6 sets of it, so.
I know that's fine.
Russ went through and inventoried it, and he said that we are.
I know.
So that was it, no, but everybody's using that, like,
So,
there was some block.
Kathy started on 2 sets last year, and one of those sets is both those sets are being used as square.
Okay, so the Kathy's got it.
Blocked off with kids that are defined goalies, which we didn't bring up in that meeting, but we obviously have a club-wide goalie issue. But, and who's playing goalie and not. That's, so they're being walked off from people. And so that's why we're talking for this weekend.
Right.
Having more lock and key on the goalie sets for that.
Is all the goalie gear still down in the concession portion, or is that what was kind of working?
It's still
And
down.
he did go through there and look through that stuff?
Yeah, him and I went through it together.
Okay.
Just with everything else going on, I haven't finished phase 2 of the equipment.
So I just wanna make sure like it was both of her. Okay, right, next one.
But we don't have to make it, like, there will be some times that you might want an 80 goalie where real equipment.
Like when they go to Essavane, probably.
Yeah, like there's some lights
This-
that shoot luck.
The stuff that she's posing is a little more protected than what the normal USA hockey coaching stuff.
With that said, because there is a tank over there, we got, I just would like to state the pressure for the records we received. Those are not hers, right? So we've had this happen over the years, they're not theirs. That's just another avenue of things we have to pay attention to, which is why I want the records.
And she did state that they'll return that.
Yeah.
Which is great, which is that would take you fine, fair enough, right? But it's not theirs to keep, and I know she's not the first one to bring version of the year that I guarantee is not.
Right.
It's probably in somebody's basement, and keep grabbing it, because it's worse.
Yeah, I think maybe it would have been Janet, but she's a little more detailed on her spreadsheets than Katie. And that's gonna be stored in the same room anyway, so like when the 6 sets of AU stuff gets in, like she throws those on the spreadsheet, Preston's looking out for that stuff. Now that we're reimbursing this one, those would go on our inventory that need to be collected at the end of the year. That way we know it's out there and there's a spreadsheet already started.
Well, that's the thing, we just need to get better about tracking, we need to reimburse the people that are buying. No matter what the number is.
Whose goalie has those?
Those were Chance Martin's. Cause he suited up to those parents told him he couldn't.
Oh,
Which, come to find out after the fact that he may have been steered that direction. It is what it is at this point.
You don't want to eat those. Those are from last year. Well, we're not sure. There's. I don't think that.
Check the explanation.
Who is anonymous or wall?
I see that too.
No, I don't know what it is.
There's a couple more.
I think it the sales strip was.
It'll be fine.
I ate one.
That's not
I'm not
good.
What?
Anonymous bullfish.
There was a little.
Okay, are we good there? We good?
Yes, move on.
are you sure those were sprinkles? Okay.
Like a dog.
Okay,
Concessions?
It's supposed to be shared.
Oh, yeah, that's me. I don't think just,
Share, not neighbor, share.
Kevin, did Kathy say that she brought something up to you for concessions to talk about? Did she?
No.
No.
I haven't talked to Kathy in, it's been a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she just said
Since
that she.
Dave's, Hall of Fame, I haven't talked to Kathy.
Okay, so she didn't have it, okay. Maybe I'll talk to her again, I'll
she got
just.
mac and cheese this week, that's all.
She has what?
Mac and cheese.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, that's gonna sell out.
I do have to wash windows tomorrow, so. do concession. But other than that, I feel like concessions have been going really well, I haven't really heard.
Other than the price changes from Coke, she.
Yeah, she's gonna go through, yeah, which I think that we already kind of went up in our price, so I don't see our prices changing, but I could be wrong, I know. But,
Well, Coke is over $3 at gas stations.
yeah, I think we're
Okay.
$3.50, so,
Lose my mind, I have to pay 50 cents for Coke, so
yeah.
I'm still stuck in 1990. Harvey's should still be 5 and 5 and same.
Okay, fundraising and marketing,
25 cent sandwiches.
fundraising and marketing.
Okay, so, says they're kind of touching this, but Junior, or Pat called me today.
Okay, if you want to move on, shut that.
So we're at fundraisers right now, Junior Gold, Pat called me today. The Junior Gold is looking to do a gun raffle, to do 5 guns, then sell 500 tickets. Then he said they could probably generate about 10K, maybe 3 to 4K for the guns, and they would use about 3K of that for jackets, and then give the rest of the cash back to the club. Because I did say last year, it's using our gaming license, so, and there was a group that wanted to do some sort of raffle with Geek, and we wouldn't let it because it was using our gaming license. It's like a raffle. So in order to do a raffle, you have to use, they want to get the card, it has to be our permit number and everything on it. It would be just strictly for that team. I told Pat that I'd bring it up because a portion of it is going back to the club. And so they were just looking if they could go ahead and do that or not. Maybe you can touch more on that, did I miss
Do you
it?
recall why we did that now, or was it just simply because we didn't use a permit, or was this supposed to be called one?
Because it had to do our permit and we have to keep track of those numbers and we have to submit that stuff to the state. So this is
So
something,
they wanted to keep on running.
yes, for the team.
Well, then that's totally different.
And
Yeah.
I feel like
That's what I said.
when it comes to this Junior Gold and ATV, like they don't fundraise at all, if anything, other than their Winter Classic type thing. So I feel like the fact that he wants to do something like this, I'm all for it. I think we should reserve our gaming for those 2 levels. And that way, just like jerseys or whatever, like those 2 levels have the privilege of using our gaming because we feel like they're responsible enough, and then other levels.
Yeah, so the only ask that I'm gonna have for that is that someone is going, and that level of parents are very good at stuff, but they have to keep track of every ticket. We have to report every ticket to the state, so, like,
Well, we have a board member that's a coalition. I would put the onus on you to make sure.
yeah,
To
so.
make sure that Lisa has all of the correct
Yep, and then, if you guys want, I could possibly order, because you'll have to order ticket books, the ticket books are probably gonna cost about $100 to get them ordered. I can put something together, because you have to have the gaming permit number on there, you have to have where the drawing's gonna be held, the date is gonna be, like, you have to have specific stuff on the tickets. So, if you wanna have someone reach out to me, I can give them the site that I ordered the tickets, or I can just, we can just do it, but. Okay. So, we're on it, I mean,
I don't have an issue.
I don't know that, I mean,
As long as you two gaming.
Yeah.
well, and actually, technically, I kind of wanna ask Denise though, too, if this is, I mean, I would assume it would be reasonable, I mean, if this is gonna be a topic.
I'm not for someone else on these contracts, like,
Yeah.
I'm not taking on it.
It's just, it's not fundraising, it's just a part of doing a,
Well, I think the hard part with that was when we passed, it's like you really check everyone, you're only spending 14. So, it's a lot of pressure. But less pressure than if we asked the entire club.
it's, yeah, it's still about the same amount of tickets, though.
But you're not forced,
How
not.
many do you say?
He said about 500 tickets. I mean, I think you guys could definitely do it.
Well, we competed, I think, so.
So then I wanted to bring up a slush fund cap and see what you guys think about it. Like these slush funds are getting up there. I wish people put as much effort into just fundraising for the club as they do
Should we
for
motion
these.
for that first?
Okay.
I'll motion to approve that. Do you want to
Do you want to add
Are you-
based on?
Are you only gonna get 500 tickets, or you guys want to get more than that?
I think I only want 500.
Based upon
500 seems a lot. 500 seems like a lot, doesn't it?
You know how many they sold for the firefighter? One, it's like 5,000.
Based on their height.
I mean, based on.
How much you guys gonna ask for a ticket?
What do you say?
If you're gonna sell 10 grand, it's gonna be $200 a ticket.
Yeah, you're not gonna get people to bid $200 a ticket. It's either 20 bucks a ticket instead of doing 500 tickets, you did 5,000 tickets.
no, hold on a second.
That's a lot. Be tough to have a team to sell all those 5,000.
No, we have never sold that.
Yes. With the labor force.
Well, it's $20 bills, like $5 bills, 10 years.
10,500 tickets is $20.
$20 ticket, yeah.
Which are tickets.
No, it'd be $20 a ticket for 500 tickets, so it'd be $10,000, yeah.
And that's for 25 tickets per kid.
Okay, hold on. So I'll,
What, books and all?
send an email to Denise tomorrow just to make sure everything is kosher on that, but otherwise, jump your motion.
Yes.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Who keeps taking it here? It's Kevin, isn't it? Kevin,
Me.
didn't you? Okay.
You're the anonymous koala.
I end up deleting stuff.
Who's the anonymous blowfish?
This is why.
Anyways,
How do you guys change that?
Okay.
So how it works when they have their slush fund, right now what I'm allowing is people to make donations to the club. So they're writing it out to the club if they specifically wanted to go to AU or TEPU or whatever. So basically that money's going into our general account and then I have to give it back to the team moms.
Are you sure? Are you keeping track of that on a spreadsheet?
Right.
Oh,
Yes. In theory, this is how it's supposed to work. But they don't all participate in the spreadsheet or, you know what I mean? So I kind of just like have it, keeping track of it. It is not a great one. I mean, it's not great, but I don't know how to tell people that want to donate, like, no, when they want it as a tax write-off. And so we're creating invoices, like some of them required invoices that they wanted. I have to give it to Denise to make sure that this is all being put in appropriate buckets, because I have a feeling that it's gonna get very confusing. Do you guys have any strong opinions on capping their slush funds?
would say not capping. One of the things that we've done in associations before is a certain percentage goes back to the association as a whole. So you're still allowed to fundraise as a team, but a certain percentage goes back to the club's general fund. So that might be a starting point. And if we're having McKenzie County issues with this, perhaps that's a tiered system where, you know, if you're getting over the $10,000 mark, the club gets to be like 40 or 50%.
From somebody that does fundraise though, like, then the incentive to find people to do.
But rather than have a hard cap,
Right, but then why would I fundraise over $1,000?
do the incentive keys, the kids, or
You have every team's theoretically supposed to report to the slush fund. Is that the rule or?
No,
You're
it's just
talking-
money that
You're just talking about the donations you get from parent or grandparent.
It's up to the individual hockey team mom to keep track of their slush funds, however they're doing that. I just keep track of the ins and outs of what I have to do in order for them to get a write-off.
So how do you know if somebody is that high? I've seen your email. We have no idea what other teams are at.
Right.
So
I mean, you can
tough to
require
cap
them to
those
show.
ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're not putting a cap to everyone, if you're doing a cap. To me, I don't know that I cap them, but what I would do is if you need to show, it's such a hard one, right? If we're not taking all of the money and then we getting it out, they're keeping track. Like, what if they don't spend it all, right? Like, to me, that's what's my.
That has to come back to the club,
But how do you know if they're not reporting to
Right.
you? How many loads of money in and out, go and spend it? If you don't spend it all, it goes to the club.
and I've contacted the bank about making 12 different accounts underneath our account so that they can each have their own account, so they can put the money in, and then at the end of the year, this money then gets transferred into our general account, and anything that they had left over, they would. We can do it. We can set up 12 accounts.
I agreed to it at one time and they didn't like that. But then, I don't know if this is already talked about when I was making sure Dean got practice, but like we're Venmoing people this money out of our account, how do we know that all this money that's going is actually going for these kids? Are they sending us back receipts on what things are costing?
That's them holding their team on account.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, I don't
Sit
really
down
like
lines are between the team and the team mom.
Like,
You know, because otherwise then I'm micromanaging all of their accounts.
Right.
You know, and that's what I did last year. And it was like, at some point, you guys have to take responsibility for this money in these accounts.
Well, I know, but-
One time where you had other receipts a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
If
we're
somebody's
using
not spending the money, like, I can tell you right now, like, our band group chat. people are-
we know what, but that's the thing, is we know what we have. Do all these other team parents know what they have for their team?
the only reason that I knew there was a slush fund is because I've been trying to keep up with all the crossbar messages, and I saw the day one, I was like, holy shit.
I can tell you as a parent, I have no idea that that's even a thing. I don't even know, I think it's Jennifer's ours, but
I know all you guys, I think all you guys have done is the $2,225 from the winter classes.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's just like where my concern is, if we're then knowing, you know, the team mom this stuff, like, and it's like donations from, you know, so are these parents aware that these donations are even coming in for these teams?
from all the these stamps, don't you need receipts to turn in your taxes as to where
So
you're?
that's why those ones, when they're donating to a specific team, like a company, it's going into our general account. And then I'm giving that money back to them. So I receive a receipt
bank statements, and that kind of kills both stones from a double checking standpoint.
It's a lot.
You're still asking them.
I wouldn't say it'd be something where we can hold them accountable if there are concerns. I'm not saying Lisa has to go check every month. I'm saying like, if Sam goes, hey, I thought we had like 10 grand, now they're saying we've got 2,000, where'd all the money go to? We actually have a way of answering that question.
I think the hard part there then becomes collecting the money every time somebody does something and then depositing it in separate accounts.
It is. I did it last year. That's how I did it last year. It's
I don't think then we were fully getting everybody's at all the time.
no, not at all the time. So anyway, something to I don't know. I'm second year into this and I still don't have a great solution for it. And I've tried it 2 different ways now. And Aaron completely washed his hands of it. He was treasurer and he was like, if you guys slush fund, that's on you guys. The club has nothing to do with it. You will not receive tax write-offs. You cannot. If you donate to a particular team, that's on that donation going to the team. But it's like the club has nothing to do with it unless you're donating to the club. And that's how he did it. And then as team on, that made me really mad because then I'm sitting there with $8 grand in my house. And to me, I don't like that because I don't feel comfortable with that. I'd rather have the club take out my
Because didn't you do it the year before where you tried to make separate accounts, or was that just the case?
I don't know.
I don't know that we had separate bank accounts, maybe we had separate G or like buckets in our G.
It was separate buckets and our,
That's where it became hard.
But
yeah.
I think now that things are coming back, she's referencing why we did what we did previously. I think one of the accounting standards for those donations is something has to go to the club for any type of fundraising for the club. So if it's an individual team doing the fundraising and they retain 100%, I think that's where the non-compliance issue comes in.
And I know years ago, like the board, like it was just like, there was a check written to the club. It was the club's money. You know, I didn't go to a specific.
Otherwise, they had to write it to the team mom, and the team mom essentially funded all these kids out of their own pocket.
Yeah, and they couldn't use it as a tax write-off. It was just that.
So, anyways, something to keep rolling over. I don't think I'm gonna make any huge changes this year because you're already started.
The Asher boards, we got 10 left. Dakota West, I'm assuming he's here to be put in.
I don't know. Oh, is this it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, has anyone? How much is it? How much is left for that?
The ones that are left, 960.
It just depends on where on the boards you're going.
Or which week you're at, but this one's full.
This one's full. But there might be 9 left if Sam gets one more.
I did call them and
BDS fluids wants one too.
they're on. And they came. I called and apparently that lady is like very part-time. The owner, it's the owner's mom. And so.
Well, let me know. Either way, currently right now, it's bronze and silver spots on the community left. 10 total. I think it's 73 right now. Not very expensive. My goal is to try to do it for about 8 years. Nobody has anybody eat or widely.
Ask me a dumb question, maybe. Have you reached out to things about it?
They were on previously.
Anybody no pay? No play.
We have an in-ice, right?
And our updated, we only
Yeah.
have 5 left to.
Right there.
Is that one right there?
Yeah, the last one.
Last one. I think we're down to 5 left needing to pay.
I think it's less than that.
I just updated that today after we got this chance. So it's fine.
I'm gonna ask a question on this one since the last report I saw said Jiffy Lube wasn't paid before we go through burning that oil.
Jiffy Lube is paid.
It is paid now. Is that one paid already? The one that still needs to go in?
Which one is that one? Oh, no, yeah, they haven't yet.
Jiffy Lube pay now?
Yes.
And that's one I didn't have, because that would take care of 2. I just see creation carpets, I didn't see Jiffy Lube.
I just changed that one today.
Okay.
Walmart
Take
did
that.
that.
Jiffy Lube was under a different, it was under the check, the name is different. That's why.
Oh, is that 6,500?
Yeah.
Something for the black
Mhm.
premium over.
I'm not taking it all the way back down. No way.
So we're down to 3.
A little bit of what I think was long.
Pretty good.
I think I did last year.
Gotta find somebody to help you on Sunday.
Facility.
Okay, that's dashers. 10 left. Keep selling.
Already good.
On the facility side, I need to find somebody to help Brian cut in the logo on Sunday. I will not be here to help with that. Brian might not be here to help with that, according to the look he just received.
We have a game Sunday.
I fully don't anticipate if I'm being honest, that getting
I doubt I'm gonna be on the coaching staff.
unless you
Well,
find a-
winter break is probably the better time. We're trying to get it in as quick as possible so that, you know, they're getting what they're paying for.
They
But,
will, I see it coming off.
yeah.
I told,
If you guys are
I
fine
told
with
that Brian, go to West and let me be in until we get enough.
Okay. I would rather do it than try to rush it.
Unless you find a way to find an open solution where it can be cut in, put in, ice roads in before the next set of practices or games or whatever the heck else is going on.
Well, the thought was we started Sunday right after winter classes was over and finish.
Talking like 6 p.m. probably.
Yeah, and finish Monday by 4. Which would be a stretch. I would prefer to do it over.
Give me the big backpack sprayers. I'll do
Want to spend money? See, I'm about to get on good money note right here. You're trying to just ruin it for me.
Okay, that's a different conversation.
Okay, so winter break, I think, or holiday break, I think is going to be the time we put that in.
Yeah, like literally a week from this week.
Yeah.
Whoever's, taking this one.
Don't tell me what you're talking about. This is how you use it.
Oh, you didn't know?
This is how you use a weed sprayer. He needs to it.
Okay, anything
Okay.
else?
On that, I need a motion to approve Big Axe's invoice for $195 for template sharpening. Thank you to Jamie and.
Was that the invoice that was sent over?
Was that a check? It was just.
Yeah.
She already cut a check.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that the invoice that hasn't been paid in months because of?
no, that one's already, that was taken care of. This is the one from last week.
She just cut a check.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I sent that
Yeah,
down.
never mind. Okay. The $9,500 in dam repairs that we approved last time was picked up by the city, so we're gonna have to pay that. The $250 for after the chair was donated, and we are working with Cascade. I have a meeting with them on Tuesday to wrap the other two.
Thank you.
So what are we gonna do with the $10,000?
We're gonna wait.
It's gonna stay in the checking account.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Spencer.
Gee, Spencer, I know it's breaking a hole in your pocket,
No,
but
like very expenses.
yeah, it's already been spent.
That's
Spoken for.
That's what
Other than that, I feel like there was 75 other things. We're working on the list of our exam drivers and trying to get a couple more. So, do you guys know anybody who wants to get qualified?
Do you have exam drivers lined up this week?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. You figured out the schedule list.
I did. It's on the
The
wall.
dates
It's
are-
already on the wall. It's on. It's hanging up. It's ready to go.
Is the rough rider getting more exam drivers trained?
They want to get all of their people trained. I don't know, dude.
Is there any viable options there?
All of the, when they say all.
Are they not there?
They want like Angel, Cliff, and
Oh,
Gray.
but hold on a minute. Angel is no longer employed by Rough Rider Center. Cliff is on medical leave for the next 3 months. The only one that can drive right now sort of is Josh. They've got another guy who's got 15-minute intervals that they're wanting me to train. I would not count that as a legitimate solution anytime soon.
So who's examining for their open skates and stuff?
I left it dirty for them 3 different skates in a row because they had all 3 skates on community, and then Josh finally came down after like the 9th hour. The ice being used and resurfaced. It looked great.
Oh,
Cool.
So are there any recommendations for people down there that could be trained to do
Us to them?
There are people getting trained to do that?
No. I had a concept, but I don't know if it is viable, but like, we have Basque and they have a program where they're learning how to drive big equipment, and I don't think that like driving exam is as complicated as driving like anything
having a conversation with them, having these kids come over here and
I know that Fargo uses kids over the age of 16.
they are the over the age of their juniors and seniors.
We're not here to solve
Yeah.
their issues, right? I mean, I think that's a great.
Great idea.
Self.
Yes, so it's
And I'm not saying it's solving everything.
but we also have to remember, John, everywhere else is the park district paying them to exam.
Goes up to their 30 days.
We're all looking on.
You have to scramble and get someone out there to examine
I just make my son do it.
I guess
Sure.
open skate is 4 years.
it. Hours before, it's only happened once, but their problems are.
Well,
We have,
well then we need to start billing them. Anytime that happens, like maybe this should be done in your development, anytime they're on the 30 ice where the rough riders are programming before theirs, and it's dirty, we need to mark that and bill them at $20.
Well, isn't that in our user agreement that it's not,
They're supposed to exam for their programming, yes. But there's not a chargeable rate to them, it just says they're supposed to do their exam
It
after that.
hasn't been a huge issue yet, just saying.
Well, if it becomes one, let's say, we need to figure out
you can see some of
our
our
issue.
I'd like to see, and this is something I need to start addressing a little bit more, is 10U, 12U, and 8U parents. Getting a couple of those, so we're having some people training for the next years. So we have overflow parents that are 8U, you know, have kids in 8U, but when they're gone out of town with their older kids, or things like that, and then, we don't have a single learn to skate only parent in there. We do have a figure skating parent learning right now, and there's a couple more that want to learn, so we can start plugging those in. As far as using like the younger kids, that's a great idea, but we're not gonna put a 16-year-old kid on the schedule to stay here until 9:30 at night to exam. So, we need parents' participation. I only have one Bantam parent that exams as well.
just thinking like long-term billing, those 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, a year from now, 2 years from now will be 18, so. And they'd be looking for jobs and it wouldn't be a hard.
Right, have kids in the club, 19.
So, either way, I'm looking.
He can drive a combine, I'm pretty sure he can. I mean, they're learning to drive like that.
Literally, my experiences with high school kids is not great. That was, about 40 hours of work rewired his Zamboni because they decided to do donuts and plow to the wall.
How's it
Yeah,
going for
I don't know if I
adults?
wanted to put a.
All right, I'm moving on to this one.
Okay.
Sam, did you get a chance to talk to your state about crosswalk situation?
No.
I talked to Jake about that yesterday while I was in our office or something different. They are using crossbar.
Yeah, they have crossbar.
They have crossbar. We need to figure out how to make their crossbar connect with our crossbar so that they can see the schedule and they're looking at because I brought up we can schedule this and stuff.
They would just
We don't
have
know how to use any of it, but we have.
They want to pay us to do it for them.
That's a conversation we probably need to sit down and have with them about it.
I just, you know.
Seeing if we're making some headway, because they came in here and said they're going to do some concessions, and we're, this weekend is already help. We can plug in random people's names that are vendors, tell them in, we can't get their names so they can pay for their expense.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
We have figure skating tomorrow. Yeah, advanced figure skating.
We can do an
Just, I can text her and we can go through it tomorrow, but I just don't know, I just think that's gonna get messy on our end too, because then when, Tammy's going through, looking at dibs and stuff, who's this person? They're all gonna have hours on their thing. It's just gonna get messy if you do it that way, but.
Maybe for this weekend, but if we can get a crossbar and connect with ours and schedule it that way. Right, if you schedule this to crossbar, right?
Yes.
I've never scheduled it.
I mean, I don't even know what it's looking like for them, but
Them having hours should have no bearing, because you should be able to
two groups. That's what you're trying to, I don't know,
That
I'll,
get a refund on theirs and just use ours. Pay us as a mod.
Or just have them register as a team under ours.
That's what I'm saying,
They're all
2 teams
signed to the
advanced.
team, yeah.
That's what I mean, and it's just a free registration for them on our end.
Yep.
And then they can plug their names in the divs, it's not overly complicated, and then their schedule aligns.
so every parent has to register underneath ours, that's gonna,
It's not gonna do anything, you just register for free, own sub registration, just like all the other different types of club activities.
I mean, I can talk to her about it and we can work on it, but I mean, if we're looking for help this weekend and that's not gonna happen.
No, I know that,
I mean, we can talk, but I mean,
my point is if they would have done what they said 2-3 months ago and they brought it up, we could have had it.
but they might have changed their minds by now too, did they? Did they say they would help with this stuff? Yeah, okay.
They only require 3 dibs hours, but they're gonna, Jaden said that they would move it up to be able to help. They just don't know what to do for dibs, other than 3 hours of their own show. And I said, well, for Winter Classics, that doesn't count for any of your dibs hours. For regular games, doesn't count for any of your dibs hours here. It's just you have to work your game.
Well, that would
Just,
be,
you work your own show, right? They have 1 show a year, so there are 3 dibs hours is their 1 show that they do.
yeah, but if that's all they're required to do, why would they do any more? That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
it would be, their show would not be considered dibs hours, just like we have a home game, it's not considered dibs hours.
Well, that would be up to their club to say, hey,
Right.
we do this, and that would count towards some of your dibs to do this.
Right, and
That's not us to say that, yeah.
that's what they're looking at, is how
It would
they
take,
shift.
it would take no more setup from them on, or from Tammy on Div's perspective, they just sign it just like any of us would. And it just goes to their people on their team. And then their show, they just tell their club members that this no longer counts as your Div's hours, you have to then sign up for whatever the hockey club is, whatever they tell us. They get a locker room, they don't pay for any cleaning, they pay club membership dues, they can help out on a Div's level for any concessions.
Yeah, I mean, we can't help you as a club, but.
No, they said, I'm saying, that's my opinion on them.
Yeah.
And they said, came in and said they would do it, so. We need to, I think, push forward, and that's just extra potentially now, because they're never out of town.
And I do wanna point out that we do have, the guys from Providence House coming in and helping in concessions this weekend, so that'll,
So Gabby just put her name in.
I don't know if she was putting her name in or not.
Last year she did, that's.
Last year she did, I don't know if she's doing it this year, cause I think they helped last weekend, didn't they, and I don't think she put her name in, I don't know, but just,
Can we
just so
ask
you
her
know.
to do that, so people, other people aren't taking those slots, even if Cassidy showing she's got
Yeah.
$50 in there.
Okay,
Okay, discipline.
Ready? Disciplinary we met last night, I know that Noel sent one recommendation over, she'll be sending another one over soon, and then the bylaws, since y'all were what we had, and they went to being picked apart like crazy, so I would ask everyone to take those and look at them and redline them, and in like 2 weeks from now, present over all of your concerns, questions, and red lines, and I'll get that back to the committee to address everyone's concerns.
Year 1, we didn't send this one out, did we? We haven't sent this one out yet, have we?
No.
Okay.
So they want that to be sent to, have Jennifer send it out.
Okay.
Once we get the bylaws, I assume you're gonna move on to the, plan.
Alright, moving on to additional items, the governance committee for contract renewal.
Right. That's gotta be a new document. That's all that was for. His contract is coming up for renewal in March. We gotta start talking about it before March or whatever comes into play, so if there's adjustments need to be made on our side to represent.
So who makes up the governance committee?
Well, to me, me, it's the bylaw governance, right? It's the same thing, you're dealing with the handbook policies. So you can look at his current contract and job description, send us, I have a couple of things I'll send you, but that needs to be on the docket in the next couple of months to start having us review it, so we can get it to Brian, so he can think about it, counter, whatever the hell he needs to do. His end, he can't do anything until we give him something on it.
All right.
It was on his agenda list too, right?
Yeah.
I know he.
I mean, I've seen how y'all push the user for this.
I think we should probably get on.
Can we set a first draft deadline, just so it's in concrete of when we want to see the first draft and then we can get rid of it?
January 1.
Wow, we're gonna be quick.
Yeah, we're good.
January 31st.
January 15th.
I mean, that gives us opportunity.
By our next board meeting, which is January.
So is Robin helping with the
Okay,
bylaws
that's
or not? She did.
January 13th, I would say, would be the first submittal to the board. That's our next meeting.
I'll agree with that. Gives us enough time to provide feedback and get something rolling before.
And then hopefully we have something to Brian by February. Because I think your contract ends end of March.
But the contract states that we have to tell them in February, month at a time.
It's an automatic renewal or,
Is it? Yes.
yes, so that's what I'm saying. So if it gets in by January, next board meeting, then we can at least tell him there's intents for changes. If we have the final draft to him by February, then we'll discuss it at the time. 2 months basically.
You got that, Kevin?
I got it.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Ice Smith invoice.
I'm gonna sit down, we just keep talking.
Hey, you know what? I got you.
That's off there.
As long as we don't put another 5 hours in, that's not fine.
That's enough. I didn't, that take it off there.
Oh, well, I just clicked on Brookfield Center.
This is a, I put this up there because your lease is, she's supposed to be down.
This is the latest I've been on.
So she asked about the ice, and they don't want to pay us for the ice time for those mallard days and rocks because it falls in the purview of. Actually, I'm gonna bring this facility basically in discussion because I think it's utter crap that they're just doing it because Lisa's conversation with them was Josh has big plans for more of this.
Yes.
And it falls within our special events category on the scheduling and the user agreement, which means they have essentially unfettered
They can take any time they want for free and we can't do shit about it, just pay utilities and say.
And they already, last year alone, if they were to pay us base time, it was just a C air shy of 40 grand worth of lights.
Yeah.
And now we're adding
Another.
3 weekend, or 2 extra weekends.
It's another almost 100 hours of ice time.
Well, I think it was 16,
It was
16 last weekend, so assume 16.
45 hours for the 3 events.
32.
For 2, but for, I guess, oh yeah,
That's the whole
sorry,
weekend.
sorry, my bad.
So only
My math ain't
32 extra hours of ice time. Now, if they add more than that, right, the number keeps climbing. It is one of the things Brian and I hated about it, that we didn't want to go continue to run it further. I'm just bringing it to your attention because I think that there needs to be maybe an addendum to that. That they cannot just, flood us with however many of these things. We have to have the ability to. Because there's also language in them that says they have to wait until the league scheduling's done.
Mm-hmm.
But they're
Big
not.
it's not done.
But they're not because they're pre-scheduling these games, so there's a conflict.
I think they scheduled those before our agreement was done though.
They did, without ever asking us if it was viable. I'm curious to know, Josh said he has Warren Mofford as well, numbers, but Sarah was out today, so we're waiting for approval, but they're sending it our way.
I wonder if they figured out how to spend the body for this weekend.
That I would be curious
That's
to
a
know.
good turnout.
It would seem to be.
The pictures
See the
don't,
picture.
the pictures didn't look like there was anybody here, so.
So I guess they'll make that determination on themselves, because they've got away there with no ice and nothing can grab for $3.
So for the water to Watford, we did pay rental.
No, because we're splitting. We're splitting.
So you opted out of this, I'm just
Knock it out of the
We
split.
didn't, we gave an alternative, opting out of the split. We wanted to do concessions and keep the concession money. That's what I presented at the meeting. I said, this is what we want because we like, I think, I love the events, I get it, like, the atmosphere is fun, the kids enjoy it, like, I understand the concept of it being good overall for hockey. But financially for us, just the burden it puts on our volunteers, because that's how we are ran. It's just like at this time, we cannot supply anything more than the Warren Wofford. The Warren Wofford is a completely different situation because our season isn't truly even started. We have all of our volunteers, everyone's
And
in
it
full
gets
force.
everyone excited for the season.
Yeah, these extra ones, like, they're gonna have to be renegotiated. That we're receiving some sort of compensation.
I think they're
It has to be an addendum, but at least for these past ones, like.
There's nothing you do this,
Yeah.
there's nothing you do for this past weekend, likely nothing we can do for, when I'm
But
saying
there's-
it needs to bring it on their radar that they can, this is not a special event where you just get free and then we do all the work.
Yeah.
And if we opt out of 25%, that's fine, but we're still free to bill for this anyway.
Did we ever ask if that goes both ways in that Easter agreement where it states that no, their monies would be like?
Right,
Sure, that's-
so that's a great point, because, you know, they make us pay for, like, you know, all the dry land over there.
Yeah.
Well, that should go both ways then, and we're just gonna schedule dry land for X, Y, Z, and.
I mean, I think the question should be asked because it does state in there that no money, but I don't know, I guess I didn't read again further down besides what is listed below, so I guess maybe it's.
When do you meet with them next?
Thursday.
I think we need to
Well,
keep
I'm gonna
bringing
have to
this.
push that meeting, I'll be out of town, so
I'll be gone.
probably the next Thursday.
Okay. So I think this needs to be brought up every single time. I don't know if we send a response back to that email that they sent us.
I can promise you, they put that other one right between two Winter Classics, the high school and NHW, nobody is going to that.
No. Well, I think just looking at it from a financial perspective, right? We know what their money was gonna be, right? And when Josh told me, we were literally counting on concessions to make any money for this at all. And we'll probably still have to pay it out because we still haven't accounted for the team's food bills that they're gonna send us and everything else and all the other nickel and dimes that they're gonna get in the end. That it's financially, it's a zero for us of why.
Well, it's not zero for us, we'd be giving away profit.
We literally give away money, right?
We'd be keeping 100% as opposed to splitting it 4 ways. So as opposed to bringing up volunteers and giving 25% of the money that we're actually making everybody profit for, we thought I just said no.
Right, so as far as for the next one, and you guys might feel different, but we're not helping. Bringing your own concessions, bringing your own gaming, bringing your own.
I'm not asking about that, I'm asking to get it on the radar, that people start flooding us with even more weekends and
Yeah.
expecting us
Yes.
to help and or realizing that we still need viable ice time for games.
Right.
You cannot in June schedule 6 weekends of these things, even though I'll have my tournament schedule with dates. We can't have 6 weekends of these things and expect to be able to fit these.
Well, I had a small conversation with Josh about that, and I said, yeah, we can still use the other chief advice. Are your people putting up all of the dividers and providing security so that people don't come back and forth across? So that we can't see over here, we can't hear over on this side. Are you guys putting all that up? Well, no. Are we using the same? Your people can't use our concessions. We can't use your concessions.
Those are kind of tangibles, right?
Yeah.
To limit our ice availability, because we should be able to use all that's going on.
Yeah. Well,
because our concessions doesn't shut down, they're just be open, and there has to be security on these doors, not just down here.
right. We can't ask every single person that comes to watch a game on community to sit down in the community and not come in the corridor.
I understand, I've been to a Bobcats game at it's a lot.
Yeah, I just don't think it's sustainable for our volunteer base alone. So yes, this will be on the radar.
But I also think paying for ice time, considering that we fill the buildings in the building, is 100%. Should be.
Okay,
Should come out of their expense part.
let's get going.
And policy change.
Is there
What do you have on
policy
that?
change, or was it just asking a question for the bylaw?
I don't know, I put it on there because you said something about policy change.
I think that was just, Jamie said notes on things That's coming after.
Yes, it was part of the bylaw.
All right, a motion to adjourn. Second. I need a motion first. And second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Who seconded that?
I did.
Sounded.
Are you typing?
I'm typing.
8:29.
That's the only part.
How about it?
I made a great secretary.